Hey, what's going on, 8th graders? This is going to be a short video on today's lesson. And for today, what we're going to work on is a clicker game. And so I have a sprite, in this case, an apple. I have a backdrop, in this case, the moon. I have a scoreboard that's going to go away when I click my flag. And then I have two variables. We'll get to that in a minute. And they're points and timer. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'll just show you how this works. Click my flag. And each time I click the apple, I get points. In this case, I only got 1 point, and what it does is it takes my name, my username, and says Mr. B SLP got one. That's it. And so to do this, I have my scoreboard, my variables, like I said. The very first thing that you need to do is go choose a backdrop. So you're going to click on this one, choose a backdrop, choose whatever backdrop you like. It doesn't make a difference. It will all work. Number two, choose a sprite. So sprite library, click on choose a sprite. Again, you could choose any sprite you want. It doesn't make a difference. I chose the apple. So you have a backdrop, you have a sprite. After you have your backdrop and your sprite, we're going to come over here to our blocks of code, and we're going to click on variables. And so points and timer, these points and timer are located right here. Now, when you get to it, it's not going to have points and timer. You have to create those. And to create the variable, you're going to click on make a variable, and you just type it in. I'll give the example score for all sprites. Click on OK, and now I have a variable for score. I don't want that variable, so what I'm going to do is I can either right click on that, delete score, or I could also click on any of these drop down arrows, delete the points variable. I would just delete the score variable. So one for points, one for timer. They have to be for all sprites. Note that. And then those will pop up over here. And then the next thing we have to create is make a list. Same idea, make a list, and I just typed it in high score. So that's my list for high score. And all that does is it keeps a running list of scores that I got when I played. So right now you should have a backdrop, you should have a sprite, you should have the variables, points and timer, and you should have a high score list. Biggest things so far. Now, the actual coding for this project, there's going to be 4 blocks of code, and I would consider each one of these to be a block. So this short block, very easy, and I'll zoom in. I'm going to reorganize this just a little bit. So this is probably the block I would do first, and it's just when this sprite is clicked, change points by 1. So remember, all of these that have this little dome come from events over here. So events, and it is when this sprite is clicked, it's that one, just drop it in right there. When this sprite is clicked, and then I'm going to go to variables right here. I'm going to go change points by 1. And then remember, you just bring it up, let it highlight, and snap it in. So what this does is every time I click the apple, I will get 1 point. Now over here, this block of code controls that apple showing up, going away, showing up, going away. And so what that does is I have when flag is clicked, so back in events, when flag is clicked, and then in variables, this is really important that I have set right there. So set points to 0. So when I click my flag, it will always reset my points to 0. Every time I start the game, start at 0 points. Then the apple will show up, and then 10 times it will repeat hide, wait 1 second, then it will go to a random position, show up, wait 1 second, go back to the top, hide, wait, move, show up, wait, hide, wait, move, show up, wait 10 times. Now, these blocks of code, so this repeat, wait, wait, those are all over here in controls. So here's my wait block. That comes out from there. And then here is my repeat block. Admittedly, this repeat probably doesn't have to be 10. Probably could be like 5 or 6, because if I'm only counting 5 seconds, this right here is 20 seconds. So hide, repeat, wait a second. This go to random position, up in motion, go to right here, go to random, just pull that out. Yeah, don't do go to mouse player. You do not want that. go to a random position, show up. Okay, so this is the movement slash score reset. Then we have our timer code. So this one's pretty straightforward. It's just when flag is clicked, set timer to 5. So again, variables. Oops, variables. Pop that out, and then you need to click on this drop down. It came in as points. Switch it to timer. Set timer to 5. So that's my timer set to 5. Then repeat 5 times. Wait 1 second. Change timer by -1. So basically, like, it's counting down by -1 5 times. That's what gets it to 0. Then the very last set of code, and what this is the high score code. And so I have my apple. When flag is clicked, hide list high score. So over here in variables, scroll down to the bottom right here, hide list high score. Wait until, and this is where it's a little bit tricky. I'll set this whole thing up. Wait until timer equals 0. And then when it does that, it will show the list of high scores. And it will add my username got points to high score. This is a little confusing. We'll talk and work more on this, but right now, just focus on like getting all the blocks and buttons in the right spot. And then forever, hide the apple. So after all this is done, it will hide the apple forever. So we're good. Let's go up to here. Wait until blank timer equals 0. So to do that, you're going to go to control. You're going to go down here and use this one. Wait until. So I'll just build it over here inside. Wait until. Now in green, that's operators. It's equal 1. So wait until something equals. I'm going to change this to 0 right away. And then to get this timer button, I'm going to go back to variables, grab this button, drop it in. So you see how it like highlights, drop it in. Wait until timer equals 0. And then that's the block of code right there. Show list high score. Then we have add, join username, join got points. So basically that just like formulates how it's written up here. And to do that, I'm going to go down here. I'm going to pull this one out. And admittedly, this is a little different than when I did it before. So this is working the way I want it to. Just trying to figure out if there's a faster way. So again, this was in variables, add. Now I need to go to join. So down here, this is what the block looks like. It says join apple bananas. Okay, what does that mean? Now I need 2 of those, join, join. So I could either just make a duplicate, bloop, or I could pull another one out, and then I'll probably just make a duplicate. So move it up, see how it highlights right there. Drop that in. Oh, that was nice. It gave me a little verbiage of what it would look like. So right here, I want to change this to username, which is in blue or sensing. So right down here, I scroll down to the very bottom, drag that in, join username, join, I'm going to switch this to got. Now here's the tricky thing. You need to put a space in front of it and a space behind it, otherwise it'll all be smushed together. And then lastly, I needed to get points from variables. I always confuse control and variables, but points, drag it down, drop it in. That's ready to go. Drop that into that. And then that's where I made that block right there. So then I have forever hide. That comes out of here. Control, forever, looks, hide. So I'm going to delete this one. Watch this however many times you need. Stop and go however many times you need. So there's this code. I'll just leave it up there. Pause it if you have to. And here is the rest of the code. So good luck. Let me know if you have any questions, and we will go from there.